Hi, this is Shy, and I have my journal 2 entry for this week, and it was talk dealing with tracing the historical treatments of individuals with disabilities and development of special education. So I'm gonna start with brief overview of the development of special education. So prior to 1973, there was really nothing in place about education for children with disabilities. So I guess somebody thought, well, hold on. The only requirement for public school is you have to be the right age. So there's no reason why these children can't go to school. So in 1973, we had Section 504 was created. And it was the first federal civil rights law created to safeguard and protect the rights of individuals with disabilities in school. So this is great. Now they are allowed to come into school. Integration. So now they're in school. How can you make sure that they're going to succeed? Because they are special needs, they are at a disadvantage. So we need to make sure that they are able to succeed like their counterparts. So here we have 1975, the IDEA Act was passed. And this act, using federal funding now, is going to make sure that these schools are not only allowing these children to come in, but going to make sure these children are going to be able to succeed. So accommodations are made, make sure that wheelchair access, also accommodations for like school materials. Like if you're blind, you're going to need braille tablets, and they had the federal funding now to get these. If you're hearing impaired, you're gonna need some hearing aids. Like, here you go, need speech therapy. We're gonna pay for you to get speech therapy there. It's gonna all be there. So now not only are you allowed to come to school, now we're putting these practices into place so now you can excel in the school. And natural progression, when you get done school, into the real world. So here we have, it's 1990, the Americans with Disabilities Act comes into play, and now this is making sure that they're not going to be discriminated in the job world. As long as they are qualified for it, disability or not, they need to have the same opportunities as, once again, their other counterparts. So this is great. This is how we see with education. Now in the job world, things are evolving, and let's talk about now how they're being treated on a whole. And in the past, I'm going to keep these 1950s and 60s as an example. These, we'll start with the children, where that if you found out your child had Down syndrome when they were born, they for the most part were sent away to like a institution like Willowbrook. You didn't go to school. You lived there. Family came and visited you. There was like a stigma attached to it, like shame, embarrassment. With these laws being in place to make things more accommodating, more accepting, you're starting to see this stigma kind of go away. But on a personal level, it's something still hard to deal with. And I think about the video we watched by Heath White and his daughter Paisley, how you have this all-American guy, went to top-notch school, went in the Air Force. He said himself, he was like Maverick from Top Gun, good-looking, athletic, married, high school sweetheart. Beautiful life. Have a daughter. I think her name is Pepper. Beautiful, healthy. She gets pregnant again, this time with Paisley, who they find out has Down syndrome. And he goes through a grief cycle, which a lot of parents go through, where it's you're angry, well, you're in denial, disbelief, you're angry, you kind of isolate yourself, and then eventually you accept it. And that's exactly what Heath did, and it took him a while, like definitely through her pregnancy, until Paisley was born, and then it hit him one day. It was like, you know what, this is my daughter. I accept you. And there's nothing wrong with you, you're perfect. And they began running marathons, and he did 321 because Down syndrome occurs when the 21st chromosome is, there's three of them, where normally there should just be two. And just wonderful how he learned to embrace her and accept her. And one of the points he said is, when people look at her, you're automatically going to see that Down syndrome. Well, I want them to see that with me, because this is my life now. And he got Down syndrome tattooed across his chest. It was just because he's like, I want people to see that I am not embarrassed. And that's what I took this week from a lot of things, that a lot of Padlet videos I watched from our classmates. The Welcome to Holland essay that we read is, I think, it's not completely gone, but it's definitely, that whole embarrassment thing is becoming a thing of the past. We're becoming more accepting. I mean, you see actors now with Down syndrome. You see models. I mean, it's not a exact 50-50 with our Brad Pitts and Jennifer Anistons, but we're getting there. And hey, you got to start somewhere.